Greetings, friends. Welcome, my dear, to Eureka Elementals 888. I am your guide, Eureka. I want to thank you. Um, this is, oh my goodness. This is maybe a channeled message. I don't know. The numbers that came through prior to my recording this, and today's the portal day, 1212. Okay, so happy 1212. Happy just taking assessment of what's been happening this year in 2024, coming into balance. And that's what I'm seeing right now. I'm seeing the scales of balance in front of me. There was also, I was making myself a quick lunch downstairs. And as I closed, as I looked down, it was 111 when I took my food out the oven. So 111 may have some relevance to you. And I heard Cher's song from a long time. I found someone to take away the heartache, to take away the loneliness since you've been gone. Those are the words that came to me. So look at that. You are look, spiriting, right? You are poised for a well-deserved reward. Your season of reward is at hand, which will then put you in the energy where you can blossom. Again, 20 is the number here and 9. So you're going into the 9 year. Really just ready. You've done the work. You've done the inner work. Do you see how high this person had to climb to get to the pinnacle? You have put in the work, and spirit is rewarding you for that. So one of the things I was thinking about too is this balance, this sense of balance, because a lot of times, people love to have their ears tickled. They want to hear everything is hunky-dory and sweet. And I literally, one of the things that I do here, I tell it like it is. Good, bad, and indifferent. Whatever comes out, I am honest to the energy. And energy is, it simply is, left, right, same bird. You have a left and you have a right hand. They have to work in cohesion, okay? So there is, we just have to see the energy and acknowledge the energy and realize that it's a call for us to come into balance. It's a cause for us to do things the right way. So blossoming. Well-deserved reward leads to this energy of blossoming. Okay? Ooh. Okay, Spirit. And this is not the way I had planned on shuffling the cards either. But you're going into a season of love. I have said it before. 2025, going to the end now of 2024 into 2025, all of these divine energies are coming together. They're coming together. Oh my God. Coming together. There is a coming together for these energies after a period of isolation and sadness, because doing that inner alchemy and the inner work to get you to the point where your heart is balanced enough to receive another, it's a lonely process. You have to deal with balancing the light and the dark, the yin and the yang within you. And so, your angels, ancestors, and spirit guides want you to know that we've seen the work you've been doing. All of this well-deserved reward that you're getting is possible because you have been putting in this work. You had an extensive period of isolation. It is, I feel like I see a lot of the hangman energy here as well. This Piscean energy where you've had to literally have this death, and also a scorpionic death and rebirth energy as well. only to come to realize that everything, it's almost like how you have a pure love of a child or pure love from a child. If you're a parent, you understand what I'm talking about. Even if you're not a parent, your pets love you unconditionally. You may have, if you may be an auntie, like I was an auntie forever before I became a parent. So if you are an auntie or an uncle and you don't have physical children, you may have, spiritual children, adopted children, however you want to say it, but this feeling of unconditional love, a love beyond yourself, a love bigger than yourself. And so that is beautiful and necessary. Once you operate from the center of the heart, right? This coming together of this heart energy, it allows you to shine. It allows you to shine. That is that break forth energy. That is the sun. The sun. You are now, you've blossomed, right? Into this energy. You've blossomed into this energy of the sun shining through. And it's undeniable of the love that you have both within and without you. So and at the bottom, at one point, you came from this energy. This may be how you started out this year, helpless and hopeless. And now you're ending this year on a path that leads you to love. Once you realize that all is love, all is self, all is love, then you can see the love in any situation, no matter how difficult you may think it is, okay? Because even when we see heinous acts, it is to me a cry for help, a cry for the fact that this person does not feel love at an innate level, okay? And as I pick up the deck, we have karma. This was the year of karma. Okay? That required us throughout the year to really follow our intuition when we're making a lot of decisions, to see it from a holistic point of view, to really do that shadow work to reflect what we needed to do, okay? We had to address the shadow side of ourselves, demanded an audience with us. The shadow side of ourselves said, I want to be seen, I want to be heard. And you had to honor that voice, whether or not you wanted to. Your shadow, your subconscious could no longer be submerged. Your shadow side says, I am here, I am present. Acknowledge me or face the consequences. Okay, so let's see, right? Yes. Listen. You had to, you're getting this well-deserved reward because you were allowed to control. You controlled. You didn't self-sabotage. This is that courage under fire. That courage that shined through. So this year you had to tame the beast, you had to see the patterns of manipulation, internal, external, and acknowledge again the beast within. Okay, so you've had to do the inner work to know thyself, control thyself and know thyself. And you blossoms because you are finally able to get past the fears and the illusions, the false energy or evidence appearing real. You didn't allow that to cast a shadow on the energies, the cleansing, the internal work that you were doing to elevate yourself to the next level. Okay, and kudos to you, because let me tell you something. I have noticed, right? Just whenever I myself am at a point where I'm about to have a major level up, the energies, again, you controlling your walk, okay? You will test yourself by creating a circumstance wherein your dedication to your path will be tested to see, is Eureka going to stick to this particular task, this energy that she's trying to create to blossom, despite all of the distractions and everything else that's thrown at her? Is she going to stick to it? And that is the test that you give yourself. That is a contract that you wrote up for yourself before manifesting into this meat suit. Okay, you wanted to see what's going to happen. And so, sometimes, right, what you found out, this coming together, now that you've learned to get past the fear and everything else, you may be coming back together with someone that you had to separate from, okay? Sometimes the timing isn't right. There is not the divine timing was not there, okay? And you have to now have this energy of, you had a grief, you mourned for this loss, and it wasn't for a lack of love. It was just the energy wasn't right. And you've got to honor that. First, not sometimes. You always have to honor the energy that you're in. Now that things have changed, okay, and the energy now matches. The energy is equitable. The energy is now verdant. It's green. All the heart chakra is fully opened and aligned. It may be the best time for there to be a reunion, for there to be a coming together. Because again, the energy is right. The coming together after a period of separation. Okay. It could be that, again, you had a twin flame journey. There was separation, because that could be a part of it, only to have to come back together. Because again, that is a part of the entire twin flame journey. Okay. And look at that. Now you're going to have an offer. Right? Because after this period of sadness and isolation, they're going to come together, right? It's a Two of Cup moment, okay? You're going to have, after this period of separation, isolation, okay, you're going to come together, and there will be an offer of love made, an exchanging of cups, okay? So this is the path. Like I said, you're going to find this love, this beauty, this wealth, this harmony, this attraction. You're going to now, after this period of isolation and separation, come together to do your life's mission, which may involve here, like I'm seeing here in the card, you may have a divine mission with this counterpart that you had to separate from, this energy. And I'm not going to necessarily call it a twin flame, maybe a soul. You may have a soul contract with this particular energy. But look at that. Okay, distance, right? This love may have been blocked, but now it's gonna come back. There may be simply love. There was a love from a distance. Sometimes you've got to love each other from a distance, and sometimes you cannot get together. Sometimes, because of what has transpired, relationships are put in timeout. This could be a separation of a family member. There was a timeout because there was a violation of trust. There was a violation of love. There was an abuse of power, misuse of power, misalignment. But, again, everybody's love language is different. So we model what we've been taught. Okay. So Spirit may have put a timeout in a familial relationship, in a family relationship, in a friend relationship, whatever relationship, a maternal relationship. But there may have been a timeout and a period of separation to allow for this growth, for the work, for the inner workings to be done. Okay, and essentially what will eventually happen is that you are meant to shine, as we discussed before, through the illusions, right? Shine through the chaos, shine through the confusion. What you're doing, you're putting because you have done this inner alchemy, because you have done your shadow work, because you haven't given into your fears, because you have tamed the inner beast, because you've had to learn to deal with the sadness, to deal with the isolation, to acknowledge, my dears, to acknowledge your shadow work, your shadow self, deal with your inner child issues, face everything head on, love yourself, make an offer to yourself, right? Honor your path, honor who you are. You are now at this point of being able to shine a light on the bullshit, shine a light on the deception, shine a light on the illusions that are being offered to the masses. You have that ability at this particular point. And Spirit saying, do you, boo, as the lady said many years ago on one of those housewife shows, okay? When I still used to follow these things. And what will happen eventually, look at that. You're in this energy with this love. It's at the top of the deck, right? Love, higher self activation. This is the merging of the divine masculine, divine feminine within you that brings this relationship to come back together after a period of separation and or a brand new cycle into you. Because what I also see here, right, is that this new cycle is coming in. And before when we were talking about this, I kept seeing Valentine's Day in my head. I kept saying, all of these relationships will be coming together by that timeline. And lo and behold, the timing card next is spring. So that pink, and look at that move as well. Okay. And share the love right after that. Look at that. Okay, people. So Spirit is not playing. You're in your season of reward. You're in your season of got next. You're in your season of this new higher self activation. And Spirit is so proud of you. You have the higher self now, the world coming in after this period of I'm hearing of isolation. Now let's see what happened. What keys change within you? This is a study really for everyone as to what we all need to do, dealing with the shadow, the light and the dark within you. Again, this love and light is great, but you have to always have love. Once you love yourself, you can shine a light on the darkness as well within you. And so, anyone who knows me knows when I first started this channel, I was doing more shadow work stuff than anything else. I was really it was my own form of working with some of what I had going on in my life, and just working. It was like a case study for myself as well. So we all have these things to do. Okay, so let's see. They're telling me, right, perfect acceptance, as we see here. Perfect acceptance. That is the reason why 29. Perfect acceptance reduces to an 11. Okay, you're going through now this portal of perfect acceptance. You're now seeing beyond the illusion, beyond all of these fears, the self-sabotage and everything else. And this is the reason why you're being rewarded heading into the 9 year. The reward comes because you have done the inner alchemy. You have harmonized your light and your dark. And this gives you a brand new perspective on the situation. Okay, so this is the reason why you're getting that Samadhi energy. 29, perfect acceptance, after having to go through 31, which is to 4, after having to ground yourself in that series of sadness and isolation, solitude, where you were alone but not lonely. Why? You had to do the inner work. That solitude was essentially allowed you to level up. So you went from a 3 to a 4, 31, 4. It allowed you to advance. So you had to go into this sadness and isolation so that you can find yourself in that energy of solitude. Get back to your foundation. really at that point honoring all of the aspects of self, bringing all of those pieces together. It was a true I'm hearing that's alchemical romance. What? So it was a true merging of the souls coming together after a period of solitude and separation. Look at that solitude and separation here. You really, I'm hearing you nailed yourself on that cross. You had to go through everything. But now you're in the energy, number two, coming together, two, right? Of Budho, transform the way you see. Yes, you had to change the way you saw yourself. You had to change the way in which you saw life. Okay, you had to do that so that you can now be able to appreciate the coming together. Okay, transform the way you see so that you can you're at the point where you can exchange cups with the person with the energy signature and the frequency and the vibration and the love energy that matches yours. Okay, beautiful, 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 beautiful energies here, right? You had to transform the way you see, transform the way you see. Into me, I see. Into me, I see. Come together so that you can transform the way you see. And once that happened, you had an epiphany, okay? Revealing your gifts. That's when Spirit allowed all of these gifts now. Your angels and your ancestors, the divine started to gift you. And this could be it too. They're telling me this is another way you can look at it. Once you did the inner work, thank you, Holy Spirit, thank you. Once you did the inner work, right? And you healed your inner child. Oh my goodness, look at that. You may have been journaling. Look at the book. He was journaling. Your inner child. I don't know if perhaps you went back home or something and you went to your old room. You picked up an old diary. I'm seeing someone going through one of their old diaries from when they were younger, and they're seeing their thoughts and their dreams and their aspirations, and you were healing. You're doing that inner child work. You had that epiphany, and the older you could appreciate the younger you. You healed your inner child. Conversely, you also had your angels, your ancestors, and your spirit guides helping you to heal your inner child. Okay, so all of this was a big epiphany moment for you, revealing your gifts, because you then remembered when you checked back your old paperwork, your old diaries and whatever journals that you used to have when you were a child. You remembered all of your dreams and your aspirations and your giftings. Okay, a lot of that came flooding back to you, and now you've opened up yourself. Look at that. Oblivion is next. Like, look at that. Open your arms. What are you opening your arms to? Love. You're opening your arms to love. You're calling in that great manifestation of love into your life. Beautiful, bellissimo, bellissimo. I love it. Okay? Love, love, love this energy for all of you. So now we're going to conclude with one angel whisper. Again, light and dark. I totally believe in that. Okay, angel whisper for the collective, for the elementals. What is the angel whisper for the elementals at this time? Spirit, angel whisper for the elementals. Let's see. Okay, take time out for yourself. Love you. Love you. Okay, the more love you show yourself, the greater that wealth. Okay, and they say take time out to have some fun too. So it's a reiteration. The time is right. Have faith. Your desire is about to come to fruition. Everything is aligning for you. Now, just as we have the light, okay, let's get the shadow work in too, because that work is never done. People are like, oh, I'm done in my shadow. No, shadow work is never done. Things come up all the time. Things come up all the time. I had a memory that popped into my head the other day when I was waking up. And I remember, it might have been this past weekend on Sunday. I remembered as a child, that time, of course, going to church with my parents, but I would, and it was a young memory. Could have been no more than 4 or 5 years old, and I walked right up on the pulpit, and sat right next to the pastor. And it's one of those things where, and looking back, because I've had a lot of past life things and I've seen. I remember sitting in one of those higher positions as well, and definitely being in a female energy and not a male one. So very interesting, but nonetheless, I digress. So honor, honor that shadow work, because it brought me to a memory. And it's one of those things my parents used to always say. That's when they knew that I would just not necessarily. I wasn't a bad child. I was a great child, in my own humble opinion. But I would always end up challenging authority, which I do, definitely do. Shadow work, impatient. Look for patterns of your impatience. Notice the negative physical symptoms it causes you. Take deep breaths and slow down. So, my dears, your homework for shadow work is on impatience. And that is one of the things I had to learn to overcome. Being a parent has taught me well about knowing and dealing with impatience. The other thing here is negativity. Let go of the pessimistic attitude. It's getting old. Think of something positive right now. Shift your thinking. Yes, you've got to shift your mindset, shift your thinking. And it's very easy to just live and stew in negativity when we live in a 24/7 news cycle that all they seem to tell you is just thinking, having that fear, right? An illusion's energy where everything is bad. And that is absolute BS. The minute I stopped watching TV, and I stopped watching TV, might have been in 2018, 2019. No more TV. Definitely after the lockdown, that definitely, that's a no-no, because I realized that people were going crazy based on what they heard on the news, and I didn't like that energy. So I unplugged and didn't look back. All right. So negativity, right? Shift your mindset, shift your life, right? And at the foundation, envy. Okay. Remind yourself that no one has it all. It's okay to celebrate others' success. You are truly enough. Yes, you are truly enough. Balancing yourself leads to a well-deserved reward. The minute you're no longer envious, and you just operate in the energy of all is self, and you realize, if this thing happens for this person, it will happen for me too. You know that nothing good will be withheld from you. And my dears, this is your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate you all so very much. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. All the best.